We look at the problem where equals secant and equals tangent. We want to show that dy divided by dx equals negative squared divided by squared. This is our goal for the math work. We identify the formula for dy divided by dx as dy divided by dt divided by dx divided by dt. We do this to find the rate of change using. This rule works when and both depend on. We plan to find the derivative of with respect to and the derivative of with respect to. We do this to use our formula from before. We must use math rules for trigonometry to do this. We find the derivative of secant with respect to. We do this to get dx divided by dt. The rule says we multiply by secant times tangent. We note that the derivative of secant is secant times tangent. We state this to use it in our math. This is standard rule for trigonometry. We find the derivative of tangent with respect to. We do this to get dy divided by dt. The rule says we multiply by secant squared. We note that the derivative of tangent is secant squared. We state this to use it in our math. This is standard rule for trigonometry. We put our two results into the formula for dy divided by dx. We do this to find the final rate of change. We divide secant squared by secant times tangent. We simplify the fraction by dividing secant squared by secant times tangent. We do this to make the math easier. One secant from the top and bottom cancels out to leave secant divided by tangent. We write dy divided by dx as divided by times secant divided by tangent. We do this to group the letters together. This is just rewriting the same thing in new way. We change secant divided by tangent into 1 divided by sine. We do this to use simpler parts. The rule says 1 over cosine divided by sine over cosine becomes 1 over sine. We write dy divided by dx as divided by sine. We do this to finish the simplification. This comes from combining our previous steps. We look at our target answer, which is negative squared divided by squared. We do this to see what we need to find. We must make our current answer look like this one. We find the ratio of divided by using secant divided by tangent. We do this to help us match our target. The rule for sine and cosine makes this equal to divided by sine. We rewrite dy divided by dx using the parts we found. We do this to connect our answer to and. This uses the math we just calculated. We check the sign of our answer to see if it should be negative. We do this to make sure our work is correct. We look at the rules for these functions again. We write dy divided by dx as secant divided by tangent. We do this to keep working with the original parts. This is step in our calculation. We use the rule squared divided by squared minus squared divided by squared equals 1 to find the derivative. We do this to use implicit math. Taking the derivative of both sides keeps the equation true. We move the term with dy divided by dx to the other side. We do this to get it by itself. When we add or subtract the same thing from both sides, the equation stays balanced. We multiply both sides by squared divided by 2. We do this to get dy divided by dx alone. Multiplying both sides by the same number keeps the equation balanced. We write the final answer as dy divided by dx equals squared divided by squared. We do this to show we finished the problem. This is our final result.